Fifth or eighth grade, good morning. It's great to see you guys. I am very excited to be here today for what is really going to be a spectacular assembly. It is a little bit delayed because when Mr. Duke's class was scheduled to present this assembly, you all were fortunate enough to have a snow day. But we are through the winter, we are into spring, and we're ready to see what Mr. Duke's class has cooked up for you. Now, before I introduce Mr. Duke, just please note there are a couple other special things that will be happening during today's assembly. After Mr. Duke's presentation, we have one 8th grade student who, although they were not able to present their capstone in January, is prepared and ready to share a little bit of their capstone project with you today. After that capstone project presentation, we'll be doing some character awards, recognizing some kids in this audience who have been doing some really wonderful things that make this school really special. Without further ado, let's give Mr. Duke a big round of applause.
Welcome to the 6th grade assembly. Today we're going to present a very brief snippet of the history of transportation. So without further ado.
The cavemen actually did not make the first wheel as many people believe. It is the Sumerians actually in 8000 BC in Asia made the first wheel. They were able to roll carts and carry heavy loads.
Welcome to my store. How may I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for a beige cart.
Molly will help you with that.
So it's a beige one. Yes, I love the color beige. Here are choices. I like this one. Okay, go here. I don't want to make a Oh, hi. Hi. Let me go get my cat. Would you like cash or credit? Credit. All right, that will be $500 million. Hey guys, look at what I have. Now I'm watching Rachel's friend play with the cart that Rachel just got. Come on, Dylan, it's my turn. Stop riding.
No.
Come on. That's a really long time. Come on.
Five, but I get it late.
And that is how the wheel and axle came to today's time period. Without axles and
motor propelled. It's not how all boats have been. Ancient ships were made out of wood and had no motors. Instead, they had people on either side with oars. There was no steering wheel. If they wanted to turn right, one side would have to row and the other side would stop. Even before that, people used rafts made out of sticks and animal skins. Another type of ancient boat is a hollowed-out log with sharpened ends. The invention of sails helped out the boating community greatly. The Egyptians invented advanced cargo ships. They were used for carrying stone for memorials. Medieval ships were built with a clinker design, which has wood held in place by nails. By 1000 AD, famous Viking longship was made. The Vikings used them to raid villages and haul back their loot. It was very helpful for the Vikings. They used it to attack by water and raid cargo ships. That's all we have.
In the 1800s, many ships were made out of wood. One common type of ship was the clipper ship. Clipper ships had long, slim hulls and big, tall masts. The ships were made out of many different types of wood. For example, they used hardwood, basswood, fingerwood, and sugarwood. Ships were used for transporting people, goods, and animals across short distances. There were many famous ships made up until the 1800s, such as the Mayflower. An important ship that was made in the 1600s in England was the Mayflower. Its famous journey was taking pilgrims from England to what we know as Cape Cod. The Mayflower was a clipper ship that brought 102 people to the new land. The Mayflower is one of the most famous boats in the 1600s because it was one of the first large ships to make it across a long distance without sinking or getting terribly damaged. Something that happened to almost every ship in the 1800s was getting attacked by pirates. The Mayflower, just like almost every early day ship, was raided by pirates. Another very important type of ship around the 1800s were pirate ships. There are many designs of the pirate ships. Four main kinds were the sloop ship, clipper ship, schooner ship, and rigatoni ship. The sloop ship is a type of pirate ship that moves fast over water. The rigatoni ship is a pirate ship that can hold 150 tons and 100 passengers. The schooner and the corvette pirate ships are a little bit smaller than the usual ship, which makes them both lighter and faster to travel on. A very unusual member is being held on modern boats by the captain.
Well, you're a young lad, aren't you? So I should probably tell you about cruise ships. Cruise ships were invented in 1900, one of many modern boats.
Wow, fascinating.
Wow, you are so enthusiastic, young man. Maybe I should give you some more info. While cruise ships are very popular, they are often used for luxury and not for transportation.
I ordered a tropical fruit smoothie and a tropical fruit cup 2 minutes ago. Where is it?
You should probably talk to the waiter about that. Somewhere on a cargo boat, the captain is teaching young crew member about cargo ships.
Well, those cargo ships are in many different categories. They are very big and are usually very heavy. They have cranes at either end made out of welded steel
Why are they almost always made out of welded steel?
because it makes them heavier and keeps them in the water for longer.
Captain, I hate to interrupt, but we're about to crash into some rocks.
Thanks for telling me. Okay?
So we're doing some stowaways in the loop.
Throw them overboard. Now back to the info. Cargo ships have life expectations of about 25 to 30 years before they're melted down.
That's all about modern boats.
The hot air balloon is the oldest successful human carrying flight technology. It is a part of a group of aircraft known as balloon aircraft. November 21st, 1983, in Annona, France, the first manned flight was performed by Jean-François Delarche-de and Francois Hollande. The hot air balloon created on December 14, 1782 by the Montgolfier brothers. Hot air balloons that can be propelled through the air rather than just being pushed along by the wind are known as airships, or more specifically heat airships. The idea for hot air balloons came from Chinese lanterns in 400 BC. The following skit is about Leonardo da Vinci and his work with the hot air balloon. Enjoy.
What are you working on? A painting.
Is it a self-portrait?
What do you think?
Nice self-portrait.
I pay you too much.
No, you don't pay me at all. I'm doing this for college credit.
Well, I guess I can take a break now. Your incompetence has disturbed my thought process.
Would you like something to drink?
Yes, some water would be fine.
Okay. What flavor?
Plain, I guess.
Okay, I'll be back in a second.
Where's that darn delivery guy? I ordered my package 10 hours ago.
Here, finally. Do you chase cheese for $100? Nope, I self-portrait. Thank you.
Maybe.
Stop talking! Oh my god!
Well, it works. It works. Wow, that's cool. I'm an invention patenter, and I saw your invention through my window, and I immediately decided to be the next big thing.
Oh, wonderful. I would love to have this patented.
Oh, great. Give me a letter somewhere. And a nice self-portrait. Well, Mr. Da Vinci, how does hot air rise?
Well, as the air gets harder, the molecules move farther apart, causing the air to expand. That makes the air less dense and therefore lighter.
What?
It's all done by magical pixies. Yay!
Our story begins in the mid-1900s with two friends on a Zeppelin. A boy is attempting to learn about Zeppelins and the difference between them and hot air balloons, but his annoying friend is being very distracting.
The difference is the one structured inside and the other one isn't. Duh. Stop it. That isn't all.
There are other differences such as the steering mechanisms.
Unlike hot air balloons, nobody has to follow the zeppelin to make sure it doesn't float away.
Ow! Come on guys, don't distract my profile.
So anyway, how does the zeppelin stay in the air? Simple.
Be
quiet.
A zeppelin stays afloat or in the air because it's filled with helium. Helium is less dense and lighter than air, so a zeppelin can stay up in the air.
Zeppelins and dirigibles have had a tragic history. Ever heard of the Hindenburg? Dummy.
Stop it.
Don't make me get the duct tape. Well, the Hindenburg was a dirigible. Hindenburg sounds cool. Is it from Minecraft?
Stop it. Not again. Pretty soon we're gonna run out of duct tape. That was in the 1930s. In 1937 it burst into place.
Why?
Oh, stop, man.
The Hindenburg was full of hydrogen, a flammable gas. Helium, the gas in this zeppelin, is not flammable, but heavier than hydrogen.
Helium is still lighter than air, so it can be used. You know the helium in your party balloons?
If you substitute that helium for hydrogen, then there's a spark in the air.
Boom! The balloon should burst into flames.
So in other
can see, there's a huge difference between Zeppelins and hot air balloons. The curious kid got his answers, and who knows whether or not that other kid was ever able to speak again.
These are the Wright brothers. They created the first airplane in December of 1903 in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. In 1899, they used wing warping. Wing warping is a method of arching wingtips slightly to control the aircraft's rolling motion and balance. They noticed birds use their wings to lift them into the air. Birds change the shape of their wings to turn and maneuver. They thought they could use this too. Using the Bernardi's principle, which is the rule of a stream of fast-moving fluid, there's less pressure than its surrounding fluid.
I am here with the Wright brothers watching their first attempt at flying a plane. What do you have to say about you and your brother's creation?
Well, we worked very hard to open its parts systems, and in order to decide it's going to run a plane, it's going to be solved with the formula. Yes, let's get started.
This is exciting because for centuries people have dreamed of flying, but until now it was thought to be impossible.
1, 2, 3, flip.
Yes, I live. Since you want, you better be ready.
Wow, I can't wait to watch this. It's gonna be great.
Okay, I'm now going to witness something that may change the way we travel. There goes Orville. He's getting on the plane, and he's off. Thank you for watching, everyone. As you can see, planes work in a very complicated manner. Thrust, whether caused by propeller or jet engine, is the aerodynamic force that pushes or pulls an airplane forward through space. The Wright brothers' plane traveled 120 feet in 12 seconds. The flight was a great success.
Planes now are used more often. They have evolved greatly since the Wright brothers have safer and faster ways to travel. Planes are now a tiny fraction of modern life.
Over the years, there's been roughly 5,000 airplanes crisscrossing the skies over the United States alone, amounting to an estimated 64 million commercial and private takeoffs every year. Considering the rest of the world's flight activity, the grand total is incalculable.
Every object on Earth has weight, gravity and rest. Weight
know that once upon a time, in a place called Carland, dot, dot, dot.
And the brakes nice off the car. And when the brake pedals pressed down, and fluids are transferred into an open valve that lets air in, pressures large pistons, and the car stops. I am doing axle. I make carrying weight easier because I help the car to roll instead of lifting.
I'm the engine. I make the car go by making the piston go by going boom boom. The boom boom is caused by the spark plug hitting my gas.
I'm the drive shaft. I make the wheels turn because the boom boom is happening inside.
I am the transmission. The key power for the engine central wheels.
And I am evil Dr. Destroyo. And I am here to destroy Carland. You're aware.
Unite!
Hi, my name is Katie. Regan Patterson, Tony Kapinas, Kate Stabley, and I studied automobiles in the beginning and have one special guest. These are some famous inventors who made New York transportation. He was born on September 17, 1854, and was a car inventor. In 1899, he created the Buick Motor Company. The first car produced by Buick was the Model B, which wasn't as popular as the Ford Model T because of its high price. Although not everyone could afford the Model B, it still got Buick very far. Today, there are about 17 million because of his name. Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863, in Fort Wayne, Michigan, and died on April 7th, 1947. The Ford Model T was the first mass-produced car and was made by the Ford Motor Company in October of 1927. It could be afforded by anyone who had a job and got Ford extremely popular. Because of this, Ford's car company started making the Ford automobiles that we see today. John Lenore was born in Belgium in 1842, and he's most known for the Lenore cycle and the internal combustion engine. The Lenore cycle is a cycle often used to model a jet engine. It is based on the operation of an engine patented by him in 1860. He created the cycle in 1858 in Luxembourg. François Isaac Durvaz was born in Paris in 1752 and was an inventor and politician. When he was about 20, he invented a hydrogen-powered internal combustion engine with electric ignition and described it in a French patent. After 5 years, it was published in 1807. Richard Trevithick was born in Cornwall, England. He invented the miniature locomotive. He made one that actually worked. In February 1804, he created Tracy Railway in 1996 as CRS. If these people ever created the amazing pieces of paper, life today would be very different. We would not be able to drive from place to place, visit our friends and family, and do many more things. Thank you for giving us freedom, and most importantly,
Then wouldn't you have to jump off some cliffs?
Yeah, our place is a high elevation. It wouldn't make sense to start on a flat field over there.
Well, I guess not. Well, that sounds really cool.
Why don't you come with me?
I can't. I'm going to the skate park with some of my friends. Oh, look. Here they come now. Hi. Guess what? Sylvia's going to hang glide.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, we learned all about hang gliding in school today.
Did you know?
Did you guys know?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, you don't know, you're in line because we know all about that.
Do you now?
Yeah. Did you know that skateboard uses wheels to move around? Yeah, they're not just four stick wheels, attached to the skateboard. Yeah, you move by from the push of a foot or the pull of gravity on a ramp. The skateboard has three main parts: the deck, the trucks, and the wheels. The deck is the part you stand on, and the trucks are the axles that are shaped like a T. And then in the front and the back of the skateboard, the deck has the same type of paper called a grip tape. So it's a good thing you're wearing knee pads because you're probably going to get hurt. Yeah. So I'm going to try again. Okay.
Hey guys, you're my bride. Guys, I need you. Guys, wait for me.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's it.
Another round of applause for the sixth grade. Now, friends, you've been a great audience, but like I said at the beginning, we've got a little bit more into today's assembly. I'd like to introduce an 8th grade student who, in the process of working on his capstone process, had a number of significant obstacles that had delayed his ability to complete his project. He's here today to tell you about how he persevered through that obstacles and accomplished a capstone. Round of applause, please, for Mike Stewart.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Michael Casey, and for my capstone project I work with the Wounded Warrior Project. When we were asked to do our capstone in the beginning, we were asked to have one main goal and 2 backups. And for my main goal, I wanted to work with the Franklin Traditional and Kindred Care Center on Chestnut Street, which is a nursing home. And I wanted to work with them over the summer for 2 hours every Sunday. And when I did this, I contacted them, and I had to be 16 years old to do so. And my backups weren't that good, and I didn't really want to do them. So eventually I found the Buddy Bowl, which I wanted to do. And I didn't fundraise enough for that, so I just had to do a whole different thing. So then I found the Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project is a nonprofit organization where the money goes to injured veterans and their families to help pay for medical bills, help them with therapy, like if they've experienced toughness in war, then they can help so that they're like through that. And also the money goes to their families to help pay for their house and such. And when I first started to work with them, I asked Stop and Shop if I could fundraise with them, and they said yes. And they gave me a date, but that date was hit with one of the biggest snowstorms in Massachusetts history. So I had to find another place to fundraise. And me and Mr. Perna collectively probably asked about 7 different places and Stop and Shop again if we could fundraise there, and we had a pretty tough time doing that. So Mr. Perna had the idea of having a hot chocolate sale, and for me working at the play. So I worked for the hot chocolate sale, and I raised about $35, and the day before the hot chocolate sale, we had another snow day, and that was when I was going to tell everyone about it. So I had a little trouble there. And I also raised money during the intermission and after the plays and before the plays of both of the play sessions. And collectively, I raised about $100 between all of them. And I'd like to thank many people for my capstone experience. I'd like to thank the Wounded Warrior Project for having me work with them. I'd also like to thank Mr. Perna, who helped me a lot throughout this process. I'd like to thank Brendan Brenzu, who helped me also throughout this. Also, it's not up there, but I'd like to thank Mrs. Lockhart and Lauren Lockhart, because without them, they brought the cups, they made the hot chocolate, and they also helped me sell it. And so I'd like to thank them. And I'd also like to thank the veterans who risk their lives every day just for us. Thank you.
I know 7th graders, you were well underway for working on your capstone projects, and we have a few, 2 or 3 more 8th graders we'll be hearing from in the next couple of weeks as they also finish up their project, which is a graduation requirement. So 7th graders, keep your ears open for the lessons you're hearing from your peers about what worked for them and what were some of their obstacles, because it can only go a ways to help you make your capstone even more successful. To end today's assembly, I'm going to invite a number of students up to the stage in each grade level, because they're going to be recognized by some of the faculty and staff here today, really for some of the outstanding character that they've displayed over the last several weeks. So if you hear your name, please come up and join me in the front of the stage today, and then some teachers will begin to present the Character Recognition Awards. So today, in 5th grade, we're going to recognize both Nikki Kim and Hannah Beatty. In 6th grade, Alia Butt and Amanda Tardy. 7th grade, we've got a big group today. We're going to be recognizing Michael Welch, Jillian McLaughlin, Bernadette Harding, Marley Patterson, Nina Pendekar. Now, we have some other 7th graders that were going to be recognized at a previous assembly, again, that was canceled for snow day. So I'd like to also call up Colin Flaherty, Lauren Hughes, and Michael Junis. And in 8th grade, Grace Frederick.
Recently,
talk about how we're a community, we're the sixth grade community, and anything we can each do to make somebody else better makes our whole community better. So we talk a lot about working together and what that looks like, and in particular about their academic, supporting each other academically. So, for example, at the end of the day, I say, you know, if you remember what you have for homework, just say it out loud so that everybody hears it in case there's somebody who didn't remember, they'll remember, oh guys, remember we need our worldly wives, oh remember we have a math paper to do. So they remember, everybody can hear it and remember to pack their stuff. So the kids have done a really good job kind of taking that to heart and really helping each other be better at whatever they're working at. But these two in particular have done something that I think all the sixth graders will agree has been really helpful to them over the last probably 6 weeks or so. Alia has taken it upon herself to make you turned it into a PowerPoint, right? A PowerPoint presentation that she puts the homework on every day. And she shared it with all the other students so that they can check the PowerPoint every day. She has everything on there, French and Latin and ELA and all of her subjects, and things that they need to go along with that homework. So I think a lot of students have found that really helpful to them. And Amanda, she kind of just takes it upon herself to do things, keep track of things that need to be kept track of. And one of the things she's been doing in particular is we've had a lot of vocabulary words from The Prince and the Pauper that we're reading right now. And she has gone on to Quizlet and made flashcards for the kids so they can just go on to Quizlet and find flashcards for all the vocabulary words. And she does a lot of other things too for us. She'll write down schedules for who's doing the current events reports when and things like that. She's just always taking things on that's helpful to the whole community. So I wanted to thank you.
So I nominated the three ladies in my advisory group, Nina and Bernie and Marley. We've been starting the capstone process this year in 7th grade, and it's a lot of work. And in the beginning, it's a lot of paperwork and research and deadlines that you have to meet. And these three ladies took the whole thing very seriously. They met all the deadlines, sometimes early and definitely on time. They put their best work into every step. They took their panel presentations very seriously, and they have some really great projects I think that they're going to accomplish as a result of their hard work and their positive attitude and their excitement towards such a big, a big project that involves a lot of responsibility. And this is on top of their regular schoolwork. So I'm really proud of the three ladies in my advising group, Marley, Bernie, and Nina.
The Quebec trip. First, I'd like to congratulate all the grade 7 on the incredible Quebec trip. Yeah. Thank you, and I'd like to also thank my team, my colleagues, Ms. Kelly Hollis, Mrs. DiMartino, Mrs. Lockhart, Mrs. Graham, and the 10 wonderful parents that came. And we could not be successful without you wonderful students and my great team. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of stress. Now, I'd like to recognize every one of you, but I can't. So, Julian McLaughlin, lots of people notice her for many things. No, not that kind. No. Academically, she's also, I've been working so hard this year in French. Amazing job. She stood out at the Quebec trip for many reasons. One of the most important things, Julia, you stood out for an incredible smile that you have and a positive side. Not once, I have seen you sad. Not once you've shown an attitude. Not once I've seen you not engage in any activity. You were always positive. Whenever we went to any activity, even the organizer, say she's amazing. She's always enthusiastic. You always throw these incredible positive comments. And the other thing I noticed, that she never wanted to see anyone alone. You always made sure that everybody was doing something and everybody's happy. You could not just be happy by yourself. You wanted everyone else to be happy. Parents noticed you at the sugar shack. She made sure that everyone was getting up, the parents, the students. And that's, yeah, you might think it's so little, but you, because of your enthusiasm, it's very contagious. And you made it took a lot of fun. Sometimes I need to settle her down a little bit. But not once I saw you, I could not understand the energy you had and the incredible joy and that joie de vivre that she has inside you. People, you're going to become something very special, young lady. So thank you very much. And the other person I'd like to recognize is Michael Welsh. You see how Michael Welsh is dressed in shorts and t-shirt. Throughout the winter, he always wears a shorts and t-shirt. I said, in Quebec, you're not going to wear shorts, Michael. And his mommy said, please tell him not to wear shorts. What I loved about Michael, besides all those jokes. You're very special, Michael, because of so many things. Number one, you listen. Not once you disappointed me or anybody else. You did not wear shorts, you wore pants, you were warm, you had your jackets. You ate all your food. And everything he did was delicious. Also delicious. You might laugh at that thing, it's so little, but it is a positive attitude that he had. And that was just an incredible experience. The other thing I noticed about you at the Pen Pal, you were the only one, and Ben there, sitting actually completely engaged with your pen pal. Everybody's left, and you were still sitting down with your Quebecois pen pal, talking, but you were genuinely interested, and you were talking with this other person. And I thought, it's never happened before. And at the end of the whole trip, after 8.5 hours, everybody started, we arrived here at 9:30. I went around and asked the boys at the back, can you please help out? There was so much kind of trash. Everyone was good, they put it in the trash bin. But I said, can I ask you boys, please, to pick up those bags and let's put them in the main bin, in the school bin, because the bus driver doesn't want to carry them. Came down, only Michael Welsh, 2 bags of trash. That is something. And he was tired like everybody else. So thank you for your positive, for your warmth, for your genuine and sincere attitude.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start first with Colin Flaherty, so if you can come up. And the reason I'm going to start first with Colin this morning is because I feel like Colin is first into my class every day. Whenever there's a lineup, he is always the first one in. I like to think that it's because he can't wait to learn that day. But Colin has a positive attitude all the time. He is so helpful with our Chromebooks in our classroom. He has taken it upon himself to make sure that they're always put away properly, that his peers know what is needed and expected of him, and I just completely appreciate all the hard work. And I know a lot of times I've said thank you to you, but I wanted to make sure that you got recognized in front of the whole school. So thank you so much. My second person today is Mr. Michael Jonas. Michael has always had a special place in my heart. He is a wonderful student. He participates in discussions. He works really hard in school. I had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with him in Quebec, and he is wonderful to travel with. Just like Michael and Jillian and so many of you, he was positive. He tried things out. I never heard you complain. He was pretty funny sometimes as well, even though his room had the most horrible smell I've ever smelled in my life. It was still quite an experience. So, Michael, I enjoyed traveling with you. I look forward to it. See you here, and congratulations. All right, so I'm not going to get much further. So this is my good friend Lauren Hughes, and I have to say that you are my friends. I am your teacher, but I consider you my friend as well. And this is someone who they sneak by Miss Sobin, who says, girls, go downstairs. They come up the back stairs so they can get into me. But just some of the positive things that they have done. At the holiday time, I came in, was it the last day before vacation? I came in and I noticed my door to my classroom was closed, and I opened the door, and if anyone is familiar with the movie Elf, when the scene when Buddy does the snowflakes, that's what my classroom looked like. It was this amazing experience. I've never experienced anything like that, and Ren and Elizabeth and Jillian were all part of that. However, you always think about other people. You always look out for your friends. I'm so grateful to have you in my class.
Good morning. I am here to recognize, last but not least, Miss Grace here. So I did go on the Washington, D.C. trip. I had such a great time with the 8th grade. For those of you who don't know, a lot of kids on the way home received a Character Pop-Tart Award on the bus. And what that meant was we had a lot of leftover random snacks, and we thought it would be a good idea to recognize people on the Washington, D.C. trip that had displayed outstanding character. So for those kids who were recognized on the bus, I congratulate them as well. I didn't really know Grace that well before the trip. She's someone that I got to know really well. She was in 2 of my groups throughout the week. And I wrote up a little something about her. She is so kind-hearted, she is responsible, she is honest, and she's very down to earth. I have the pleasure of getting to know every student in the school, and no matter if someone's in Grace's group of friends or not, Grace is spoken very highly about in my office by a lot of different people, and that is a huge compliment getting to 8th grade, when sometimes there can be a lot of cliques. I also didn't know Grace so much academically, so I had a chance to ask some of her teachers what they thought of her as a student and what she was like in the classroom. And one of her teachers described her as purely wonderful and someone who is modest and humble about her work, but is still driven and hardworking. I am so excited for Grace to go up to Franklin High School. I know she's going to do amazing things, and it's been a pleasure to get to know.
Friends, I know you know how important your academics are, and we celebrate that with our academic assembly, but I also know you know how important and how much we as a school and a community care about who you are, and your character, and how that's developing, and how you're treating each other. And what I think you heard today was a number of examples of how who you are and how you treat each other helps to contribute and make this school a really special place. I have one surprise, which is something that we've only done, I think, once before. But 2 students had approached Ms. Zelnowski and myself and asked if they could recognize someone for really outstanding character. And I think that's really wonderful, when the kids in this school are really starting to notice positive character in each other and in some of the adults in the community. So I'd like to invite Mackenzie and Jessica up to present one last character recognition award.
So as students of BFCCPS, we will do our best to show good character at all times. But that doesn't mean it's only the students. Teachers can also show good character, and one particular teacher shows good character not only once in a while, but every single day.
Every time we see her, she's either smiling or laughing. People who do not see her, we know she's laughing because we can hear her across the school, which is a great thing.
Would Madame Malone please come up?
I'd like to present this character to you for
you so much, and we don't know what BFCCPS would be without you.
That brings it in to today's academic assembly. You've been a great audience. Thank you, family and friends, for joining us today. Please listen and wait until I call your grade level